Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve day 10 problem on LeetCode. If you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's read the problem statement first. So in this problem we have given a string S and we have to return the number of palindromic substrings. And a string is palindrome when it reads the same backward as forward. Okay, so let's say this is a string. Okay, this is a string A, B, C, B, A. So when you are going to see it from forward, or when you are going to read it forward, then it is like this A, B, C, B, A. Okay, first comes A, then comes B, then comes C, then comes B, then comes A. Now when you are going to read it from backward, then how it is looking? First comes this A, then comes B, then comes this C, then comes this B, and then comes this A. So both are matching. These both are matching, right? These both are matching. So this is one palindromic substring. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So a substring is a contiguous sequence of characters within the string. Okay, so we have given these two examples here. In first example, string S is ABC, and for this output is 3, because only 3 palindromic strings are available, A, B, C. So when there are just one character, so we can read it from forward or backward, it's just A only. So this is also a palindrome. Okay, so single characters are palindrome. Okay, and this is an example 2, as here triple 3 times A is given. So single character A is also palindrome, this character is also palindrome, this character is also palindrome. Then when you take these two as one set, this is also palindrome, because read it forward or backward, this is same now. Just I am highlighting, just read it from forward and backward also. So this is also same, and this is also same. So total 6 palindromic substrings. Okay, so now let me explain you the logic. Okay, how we are going to get these palindromes of a string. So let's take the example of this string only. Okay, so let me erase this part and let me write it again. A, B, C, B, and A. This is a string, right? So I am going to use here 2 loops. So outer loop is I, which is going to run from 0 to n. Okay, this is my outer loop, and inner loop is going to be j, which is going to run from index I to n. So I am going to use 2 loops, and inside these loops I am going to call one method. Let's say I am calling check. I am going to calling some check palindrome method, something like that. So in this method I am going to pass one string, and here I am going to pass that particular string's starting index and particular string's ending index. J is going to the ending index of a particular string. So if this condition is true, then in that case I am going to increment the count that I have found one palindromic substring, count plus plus. Okay, if this condition is false, then I am not going to do anything. Okay, so now let's understand this. Initially my I is at this index and J is at this index. Okay, so when both I and J are at same character, that means my string is just looking like this, just this A only, this A only. So this is also a palindrome, na? Single character is a palindrome, I told you. Okay, so I am going to add this A in my list. Okay, after that what happens? My J is going to move one step forward. So now my J reaches here. So my string now looking like this, A, B. So is this A, B is a palindromic substring? No, it is not a palindromic substring. So we are not going to add it in our list. So now after that my J is going to move one step forward. Okay, J is going here, and again I am checking if ABC is a palindromic substring. No, it is not. Now it is not. So again my J is going to move one step forward. J is here, so it is going to check if ABCB is a palindrome. No, this is not. Just read it, ABCB, BCB, A from backward. So it is not a palindrome. Okay, this is also not true. Now I am erasing it. Now see here, see very carefully here. Now my J reaches here. So this is one complete string. So now I am going to, when I entered inside this method check p, here I am passing string as complete string, and starting index here 0 and ending index is this is 0 1 2 3 4, ending index is 4. So here I am calling for this method check palindrome string starting from 0 and 4. So now how I am going to check inside this function, how I am going to check if this is a palindromic substring or not. So what I am going to do inside this palindromic string, I am going to check whether the value of I is greater than j, whether the value of my I is greater than j. So I is greater than j, I is 0, j is 4. No, it is not true. Okay, I is not greater than j. Okay, so if in my code this happens, if in my code anytime if in my code my I crosses the j, okay, I value becomes greater than j, in that case I'm going to return true. Okay, so I'm going to explain it why it is going to return true. Okay, so just don't worry. And now inside this method I'm going to check if the character at index I and character at index j are matching. Yes, they both are matching. So if they are both are matching, then after that what I'm going to do, I'm talking about this particular method. Okay, I'm not talking about these outer loops right now. I'm just inside this function, and this inside this function I am checking now. So I compared whether the character at this a and character at this j index is matching. Yes, it is matching. Then after that my I is going to move one step forward, I plus 1, and j is going to move one step backward, j minus 1. Okay, so now my check method, this method, I am again going to call this method check method recursion. I'm using a recursion now. So check method is going to string, and my I is moving one step forward and j is moving one step backward. So when my I is at this position, j is at this position, I am going to compare it. Is this true? Yes, it's true. Then my I reaches one, I is going to increase one more step forward. So I reaches this index and j reaches this index. Again I am going to compare. So both I and j are at same index. So this is true also. Now after that again my I reaches one more step forward and j is going to reach one more step backward. So now I crosses the j. If I crosses j, I am going to return true. That simply means that this complete string is a palindromic substring. Okay, so this is one case. Okay, so now let me show you the code. Okay, I have already written the code. So here this is a count substring in which we are passing our string. Okay, now in the n I am getting the count of our length of our string, and here I have initialized the count as 0. And initially let's ignore this step. Okay, memoization we are doing, let's ignore it for better understanding. Okay, so let me comment out these parts, and here also comment out this part. So here I have commented out everything related to memoization. So here first I am calculating the length of our string and count is initialized to 0. Then I am running one for loop from I is equal to 0, I less than n, and j is running from I and j less than n. Then I am checking if this value is true. So here I am checking if palindrome is substring. So here I am passing string as starting index of string that I am checking, and j is the ending index. So if any point of time my I crosses the j, then I have already told you that we are going to return true. And other than this, we are also checking if the character at I index is same as at j. Okay, if it is true, then after that I am checking the next, I am moving I one step forward and j one step backward. Okay, that is why I'm again going to call this method. And if at any point of time this condition is not satisfied, then we are going to return false. If this condition comes, then we are just going to return true. So now let me run our code and here see the runtime. Okay, so let me submit it. So runtime is 300 milliseconds. Okay, now we are going to implement the memoization. Okay, memoization in our code. Okay, so let's understand this with an example. So let's take one string here. So let's say this is a string b. Okay, this is a string given to us. So first we are going to check whether for this 0 index only, 0 to 0 only, if this is a palindrome. Okay, we are going to check this. Then we are going to check for 0 to 1. Okay, 0 to 1 is palindrome if both these characters are matching. Then after that I am going to check for 0 to 2. Okay, if 0 to 2, this is a palindrome. Okay, so here for checking 0 to 2, after that what happens, I'm going to check if my I is going to move one step forward and j is going to move one step backward. So here when but my I and j both becomes 1 and 1. Okay, so this is going to, okay, when we are at 0 0, it is going to just return true. This is true. And when I am at my I is 0 and j is 1, okay, I am going to compare I and j are matching, then in that case it is matching, so it is going to return true. When my I is 0 and 2, so it is going to compare both the characters at I and j, just both are true. After that my I and j moves one step backward, so it becomes 1 and j, 1 1 1, and again I am going to check 1 1 are true, just true. So here from here I am going to return true, complete true. Okay, now for 0 to 4 I am again to check 0 to 3. Okay, when I am 0 to 3, so characters at 0 and 3 are matching, then I move one step more backward. I moves one step forward and j moves one step backward. That means I reaches 1 and this index 1, and j is at this 2 index. Okay, 1 and 2, and here again I am going to check if 1 and 2 matching. Yes. Then after that what happens, my this also moves one step forward, 2, and j one step backward, so this is false. So whenever my I becomes greater than j, then in that case I am returning true only. So here I get true, okay, true for this value. Here also my I becomes 2 and j becomes 0, so that's why I am returning true here. Okay, 0 to 4. Now what happens, now my I reaches here and j is starting from here only, from this. So here I am checking for 1 and 1, so 1 and 1 character matching, so it is going to return true. Okay, now my j reaches here, so I am checking from 1 to 2. I am checking from 1 to 2. What, this 1 of 2 I have already checked here now, so why I have to again search for it? Again I am going to do 1 2 and then 2 1. I have already implemented these steps here. So if this is true, so from here I am directly going to return the true. That is why I am going to use memoization in our code right now. Okay, so here I am going to create a boolean array of memo, and by default the value is false here. Okay, now value is false. Now here by default value is false. So here I am checking if in any case we have turned this, updated this value to true. Like here we have updated it to true now. So if we have updated it to true, then in that case we have to just simply directly return the true. Otherwise we have to store whatever we are returning here, we have to store that in memo of I of j, so that it can be implemented in the later part of stage. So previously you see that our runtime is 300 milliseconds. So now let me submit my code again and see the runtime. So now the runtime is reduced to just 14 milliseconds. Okay, so I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem. If you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Thank you. Bye bye. Meet you in the next video.